and welcome back to my channel. We are back for another reset, and this one, I don't know what to say for myself. Honestly, I do feel pretty put together right now. I feel like I have all my bearings in order. Things are going well for me. However, there are some things that when I'm gonna look back on my goals and my budget for this month, we're all gonna have a moment where we're like, girl, what have you been doing? What's going on? I swear I have it together, okay? I really do. I just had a few weak moments. I'm still having difficulty trying to figure out how to structure these videos. I don't want to make them too long, so I don't want to talk about every single thing. I've gone back and forth on if I want to bring up my follower trackers, if I want to bring up like the TV shows I'm watching and the books I'm reading, all of that. For the most part, I'm thinking I would just like to keep this to my goals and my budget, and then maybe talk about TV shows I watched and books that I read if I finish them and they're relevant. But I keep going back and forth because I feel like the goals section and the budget section already takes up so much time, and these videos are just so dense and so hard to edit, and in a way I look forward to them, but in a way I also dread them every month. So let me know down in the comments what you think I should do, if you have any advice. I really enjoyed the way I edited last month's video, so I'm gonna try to keep that up, but like I said, that was very densely edited, and I feel like adding anything more in is really gonna hurt a bit, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I think for this video, I'm still going to stick with just the goals and the budget. That's been working well for me. Like I said, I did enjoy how I did my video last month, and that was all I really kept in it. So let's just get into the goals. So we're going to review the June goals, and we're also going to go over some of the audits that I did on my own life. I've been doing my level 10 audits again, and I actually broke it down between the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, and the end of the month to see kind of how my opinions change throughout the entire month, and if it's actually like consistent feelings about certain aspects of my life. We'll go into that later. First, let's talk about the goals. So in June, I had 5 goal categories from my life. The first one was home, which had a lot to do with my apartment and different things I wanted to do within it. So first thing I wanted to do was deep clean my bathroom and organize my vanity. Those things went hand in hand. I actually made an entire video on it, so if you guys want to check that out, it's available for you all. I had a great time with that. I'm so happy I did it, and mostly glad it's done with because now I don't really have anything else to clean in my apartment. Second thing I wanted to do was clean the kitchen and restock. There wasn't a lot of cleaning that I had to do in the kitchen, but I just kind of wanted to organize it a bit better, so I did that, and I think I restocked pretty well. I haven't come to that point of like self-actualization with like grocery shopping and cooking, so I don't really know how to restock my kitchen effectively because I want to have ingredients so that I can make dinner at like any point with whatever I have, but my brain just short circuits when I have to think about stuff like that, and I can't do it. I don't know why, but it's something I'm working on. It's something I'll get to eventually. Right now I achieved that goal to the best of my ability at this point in my life. The next thing I wanted to do was buy and set up either a couch or a TV. While I still have some things going on in my apartment that aren't as ideal as they could be, everything is to a point to where I am like satisfied living in it, except for the fact that I was using an air mattress as a couch and I didn't have a TV in my living room, so there was basically nothing I could do in my living room except like lay on the floor, or I guess lay on the air mattress, but there was no reason for me to be in there. Why would I lay on an air mattress when I have a bed? So I wanted that over with, and I actually bought a couch probably like the last week of June. I actually got it delivered today, but it's July 3rd right now. So even though I technically didn't set it up, it was arranged to be set up by the end of June, so I'm considering that done. I also want to get bar stools for my countertops in the kitchen. I think I'm just gonna like take that off entirely. That is not coming with me to July. It's not that it's really an issue, it's just now that I have a couch, I feel like I'm just gonna be eating on the couch anyways. Why would I need a bar stool to eat at? It's not necessary. So did not achieve that goal and don't really care, honestly. Next we have content goals. So I don't know why this was #1 priority, but my first goal was to post 1 reaction video on my 3rd channel. If you've been watching my videos, you know I'm kind of like up and down with this right now. If I actually want to like move forward with this 3rd channel, if it's like a priority, I don't think it's a priority. I might delete it, I might not. I think I'm just gonna keep it around for a while. I have no sense of urgency with it. Like I keep saying that I want to do it, but then I don't actually have like any deep feelings to do it, and I'm doing so well on everything else right now. I'm being so consistent with this YouTube channel, I'm consistent with my gaming channel, I'm consistent with my TikToks, which is something I've never had. For the first time in my life, I actually feel like I'm doing well on YouTube, and I'm doing well on my short form content, and I do not need to add anything else into this. I just want to ride this wave and enjoy what I'm doing with my life right now and be proud of myself for doing this kind of stuff in my life. Oh my gosh, it's so unreal how much I'm actually doing now. So I did not achieve this goal, and I'm not worried about it right now. Not bringing it into July. The next thing I want to do was edit and post my Korea vlog. I was sitting on this for half of April and all of May and all of June. I talked about this a few times. I know it was something that was really important to me, but I just couldn't get past the procrastination to get done and past a lot of the insecurity, honestly. But that was actually something I accomplished in June. I'm so proud of myself. I'll have it linked in the description below, and I'll have it linked up here. I'm so proud of it. It's actually one of my favorite videos I've ever done, and it's just one of those things, like months ago I probably would not have had the encouragement and support to push through it, but now I just feel like I have a good support system. I have the discipline. There's no one putting me down. There's like nothing that's holding me back from actually doing the things that I really want to do. So even though it might just look like one little video to you guys, to me it holds so much significance, and I'm so proud that I actually got it done. The next one I wanted to do was work further on my 100 days of Stardew video, and that's for my gaming channel. That's basically the equivalent to the Korea vlog, but gaming wise it's like a huge, probably hour to 2 hour long video. Takes up a significant amount of time to film and edit. I did not accomplish that at all. The only thing I wanted to do for it was maybe do like another hour on it. I literally just wanted to make some progress on it. It didn't matter how much. And I appreciate myself for making that goal more attainable, because it wasn't like this really out there goal. But with the Korea vlog, I think that was the only big video I could take on in June. So yeah, I did not achieve that one. But that is something I would like to carry over to July. My next two goals were consistency based. So the first one was to get 4 videos uploaded on this channel. There were 4 Mondays in the month, which meant that I wanted to upload every single Monday. And I'm actually really proud of myself for this one too, because I missed the deadline for the 3rd video, which was the Korea video. I was supposed to post it that Monday, and I think I ended up posting it on the Friday, maybe the Thursday. And by that point I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get another video up Monday because I haven't even filmed it yet. And I still got that video uploaded before the end of the month. So I still got all 4 in, even though it was pushing it a little bit. And for a minute I was like just debating skipping one because I was like, I'm already late on the Korea upload, but I still ended up doing it anyways. So proud of myself. And then the next goal following up to this one was 5 videos on my gaming channel. I did accomplish that. I think I did 5 or 6. It wasn't like a crazy amount, but it was enough to actually achieve the goal. My next goal section was downtime goals, which is essentially just my rotting days goals. Reading, watching TV, playing games, stuff like that. If you're not a gamer, this won't make sense, but my first goal was related to one of my favorite games. I want to clear out my quest log in Genshin Impact because I have like 20 quests ongoing that I cannot get through. I did not achieve this. That is such a heavy task. I think I've had this on my monthly goals for like 2 or 3 months now. It's hard. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get through it, but I'm probably gonna carry it over to July, at least mentally, if it's not on my list already. The next thing I want to do was complete 3 serious showdowns, also in Genshin. It's an element of a card game within the game. It's basically like the extreme difficulty, and you have to like beat every character. So I want to beat 3 characters in that game. I didn't even do 1. I just didn't bother. I've been so focused on trying to get through that quest log, and even though I didn't accomplish that, I've been making progress on it. So that's what I've been spending my time doing. The next thing I wanted to do was finish reading this book called 5 Broken Blades. This is just a book that I picked up at the airport when I went back home in May. It was a lot easier to read the physical book while I was on the plane and when I was just traveling in general. I don't think I've picked it up since then. So I started the month about halfway through it, and I stayed about halfway through it the whole entire month. So I did not accomplish this, but still something I'm going to keep on my radar. The next goal I had was to finish reading The Cruel Prince. Now this one I did work on a little bit because it is on the Kindle app on my phone, and I do like to read that sometimes like at work or sometimes before bed. It's just a little bit easier when it's already on my phone. I think I started the month about like 26% through with it, and I'm about like 50-60% through with it. So I did not complete the goal, but I definitely made progress on it and definitely keeping it on my radar. Financial goals. This is where I have to like tuck my tail between my legs. My first goal was to get up to $3,500 in my savings account. This is actually hilarious because what happened, we're going to talk about this a little bit in my budget section, but I got my savings account all the way up to $5,000, and the way that I had it was that 75% of my savings was designated towards a car down payment and 25% of it was designated to furniture. So I always had the intention to pull some of that out for furniture when I was ready to buy furniture. I thought I was going to be able to pull off getting a cheaper couch but the couch that I wanted ended up being $2K, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna pull out the $2K and then just readjust the rest of the money I have to make it still make sense to the percentage I had before. But what happened is that I went way over my budget for the whole month, and I just ended up needing to pull out all of my money from savings just for peace of mind, because my checkings got too low for me to be comfortable. And like I said, we'll talk about this in the budget section. I definitely went off the rails and I'm definitely disappointed. But yeah, my savings account is currently at 0. I did not accomplish that. I technically did in the beginning of the month, but then it got recalled from me when I fucked everything up. The next goal that I had was to put $500 into my student loans. I actually did this one. I probably put about like $800, $900 into my student loans, which is way more than what I needed to. And it's also partially the reason why my budget is going so badly, is because I'm just like balling out and everything when I really don't need to be. But if you haven't heard me talk about this, student loans is like a huge thing that just bothers me and just like is a weight on my shoulders, and I want to get rid of them. And I'm like pretty close. I have about like 8 grand left. So if I keep putting in huge payments like that, I will be fine. But I don't always have to put in huge payments. Sometimes I need to just like worry about my current life, but I'm still proud to put that much in, so I did achieve that goal. My next goal was to work 1 to 2 hours of overtime every week. I'm hourly, so I can make extra money if I work overtime, and I can pretty much work as much overtime as I want. And I'm supposed to be doing this to support my luxurious lifestyle I'm apparently trying to live right now. And what do? I work 0 overtime. Maybe if I spent more time at work and less time at home just scrolling TikTok looking at all the things that I want to buy, I wouldn't be spending so much money, and then I would be making money in turn. But no, I don't want to do that apparently. And lastly, for my goals, I had the health section. So the first thing I wanted to do was finish my heart monitor. I did have a little heart monitor that I think was on in the last video. Maybe, maybe not. I had to do it for 14 days. And I had a little diary that I had to like log when I was feeling any symptoms. And this is just because I was noticing some concerns of just like palpitations when I was doing really easy shit. I did finish that and I did get my results back. I actually have nothing wrong with my heart. So cool in a way. I still want to know why I get so many palpitations, but you know, I'm healthy apparently. The next thing I wanted to do was continue my sleep tracker. So last time I did go to the doctor, they gave me a few sheets of a sleep diary, a log. So kind of similar thing where I was just logging how much I was sleeping every night. I'm currently on my last week of it, and I did log it every single day of June, so doing great on that. The next goal I wanted to do was start a couch to 5K plan and then book a 5K to do at the end of my training plan. I didn't end up doing that in June. I actually had like a whole, I don't know what to call it, like I wanted to go through a whole entire health journey one of my weeks in June, but I ended up having so many things lined up that would have taken away from that and wouldn't have allowed me to focus on my health, like a lot of travel and concerts, stuff like that. So I didn't go on a single run. I didn't do a single workout honestly in June, but it's okay because I actually did my first run yesterday on July 2nd. So a little spoiler for July and how that's going, but that is coming to fruition. It's just a little bit late. Can't say that I accomplished that in June. And my last health goal was to start eating more clean. I had no specific way of measuring this, but by my own standards, I feel like I've accomplished this just because I've been snacking so much less and I've been having less unhealthy snacks. I haven't been eating as much junk as I was previously. So I would say I accomplished it. So next I do kind of want to talk about my level 10 life audits, what I have been looking at in terms of different areas of my life and what I'm happy with, what I'm not, what I need to improve upon. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is relationships. On average, I rated this category a 7 to 8. I feel like the relationships that I have currently are going really well. I feel like the connections that I already have are pretty strengthened right now. Like I feel pretty close to all the people that I have felt close to in the past. The only problem that I'm still having, which maybe should make this category a little bit lower than what I'm rating it, is just that I don't really have friends anymore. I used to in high school, but I went all through my college life not really having any. And in my adult life, right now, I have connections, but I don't know that I would really say I have a lot of friends. My coworkers are my friends, a lot of my family members are my friends, but I don't have specifically a lot of girlfriends because all my coworkers are guys and they're cool. I mean, we have a couple girls, but like I'm not super close with them, and it's different because we're coworkers as well. But the ones that I'm really close to mostly are guys, and I don't know, there's just something so so different, especially because they're older as well. Like, I want 20 to 25-year-old women in my life. So that is something I want to work on moving forward, but it's not like a high priority right now. Eventually, I'm gonna go back on Bumble BFF and we're gonna do the hard work to try and make friendships. I don't feel like I am really willing to put in all that effort yet. Plus, on like the hierarchy of needs, when you look at all these areas of my life, that's not the most pressing issue here. So moving on, we do have the health category. I rated this like on the lower end in the beginning half of the month, and it slowly went up over time. I'd say on average it's like a 6 or a 7. And this is because I was still having health like complications at the beginning of the month, but the heart monitor and the sleep tracker, I was just like not really sure if there were things that were wrong with me. I also have some other weird symptoms that I haven't talked to my doctor about yet that I will do when I eventually have a follow-up. None of them are super pressing. None of them are like affecting my day-to-day life really. And I think they're all things that I know where they're coming from. I'm just like not putting in a lot of the effort to fix them, which kind of brings me into the fact of I haven't been working out and I haven't really been eating right. I haven't really been hydrating to the extent that I could be. So I am prioritizing my health, I think, this month more than anything. At the very least, I want to get back on my workouts and I want to start eating healthy again. And once I get all of that together, I'm definitely going to be feeling like my health is a lot better. Next, we have self-care. So I'd say on average, I also rated this about a 6. I was doing better in the beginning of the month and then I kind of started falling off. I started noticing that I wasn't sleeping as much. I was really neglecting my health, which kind of comes into self-care. Honestly, they kind of go hand in hand. I also wasn't allowing myself to relax as much. Or if I was relaxing, it wasn't like designated time I was giving myself. It was just like times I was making myself feel guilty for relaxing. So that's something I'm trying to like reel back in a bit. But kind of what I said with health. I think when my health gets better, my self-care will get better since they go hand in hand. My content. Okay, so this category actually has improved like significantly throughout the month. I started the month out giving this like a 3 and then now I'm at like an 8. So I would say overall we're at like a 6 or a 7 with this one too. But honestly, because it's at like an 8 right now, I would say even though on average I wasn't doing as great, I feel like now it's doing so well that I don't really need to like hyperfixate on the fact that it's lower. I am the most consistent with my social media that I've ever been at this point, and I think I'm actually getting some of the results to prove that, dare I say. So yeah, I'm proud of that. Mentality. So this kind of also is related to self-care. I started the month of June giving my mentality a 10 out of 10. I rarely ever give any area of my life a 10 out of 10, but that's where I was feeling. I was like, I'm girl bossing it up, and I really think that is because of my cycle, just because it's the beginning of the month again, and that's where I'm feeling again that I'm like a bad bitch and nothing can stop me. And that was the reason I wanted to give myself different ratings throughout the month, because I wanted to see if my cycle was affecting certain areas, and it definitely does affect my mentality because it went from a 10 out of 10 to a fucking 3 out of 10 by the end of the month. That is how much I crashed. So on average, it's giving average. Like, we're giving average mentality. I have bad days and I have good days. That's normal. Definitely something I want to strengthen, hoping that comes alongside the health and self-care, all of that. A lot of these things kind of coexist with each other, but mostly I need to work on giving myself some grace, allowing myself to have bad days and not telling myself that that's the end of the world. Finances with the same direction as mentality, and those also might coexist with each other. I started the month with a 9 out of 10 in finances and I went down to a 2 out of 10. That's just because I followed my budget so poorly. And this one's gonna be a little bit harder to recover from. I definitely do need to stay on budget. I think I've learned a few lessons over the last month. Like, I really don't need a lot of things. I just want a lot of things, and that's okay. It's okay for me to say that I want things sometimes. And it's okay for me to buy things that I want sometimes, but I still need to have some level of discipline and responsibility. It's okay for me to splurge, but I need to make sure I actually have the money to do that. So we're gonna see how July goes. I'm going to work my ass off to not overspend, but I can't make any promises. Next, we have home. I would say this averaged like a 7 to 8 out of 10. I've been working so much on my apartment. It's been a pretty big focus ever since I moved in. I mean, this is my sanctuary, like this is my safe space, so I want it to be just a very happy environment. And I've been making sure that's improved upon every single day. So I would say that's good. I don't need to worry about that too much. And lastly, we have my career. This is consistently where I've been the most unhappy this whole entire month. I don't want to go into too many details about this, but essentially I'm just very meh about my job. Like, I'm just there, but That is just part of the process and we live with it. At this current moment, there's not a lot I can do. So ending on that very negative note, let's move on to July. Okay, so now moving on to July, I am feeling so much more confident about this month. I was feeling confident in June, but now I'm on like a whole nother level again. I'm hoping I can just keep this energy up every single month. Feels more and more like I'm myself and I'm happier. With that being said, I hope I'm not being too ambitious with my goals like I tend to do every month. I feel like I've been pretty accurate lately though. Anyways, I have 5 categories again this month. They're pretty much the same categories except I titled them differently. First we have home. First we do have get the couch fully set up. We're also gonna spoil the August monthly reset video because as I said, I did get that delivered today and it's all fully set up. I already know that I accomplished this one, but very excited about it, very happy about it. The next goal I have is to buy a TV and get it set up in the living room. This is the only other big purchase I will be making for quite a while. And that's just because I have a couch, like I have to have the TV too, like that's part of the process. And I promise I won't be doing anything else crazy with my apartment after that. I do have some more goals about more things that I want to buy, but they're not large purchases, and if I don't get them for sake of staying on budget, that is okay. However, I am like 99% gonna get the TV no matter what. I'll keep my money away from paying off student loans just so that I could pay for my TV. The next thing I want to do is build the dresser in my bedroom. Talked about it a few times, but this bad boy right here, actually down there, those little pieces of shelves, that is my dresser. And funnily enough, I actually searched when I bought this dresser because I bought it a long time ago. It's been a year. I had this dresser for a year, and if you look back on some of my other monthly resets from last year, you'll see that I was talking about building that dresser for that long. It's always been too much of a process for me to take on, but I'm definitely gonna be doing that like this week because I can't take it anymore. It's gonna take me like 6 hours, but I'm just gonna suffer and get it done. And it is gonna be sitting exactly where it is right now, like in between the space between the 2 doors. And it's gonna be used as a stand for this TV so that I can watch TV in bed without having to like look over like that, like I can lay fully down and watch it. I think that's gonna be a game changer. The next thing I wanna do is build the bookshelf for the living room. I don't really even remember what this looks like. I bought this bookshelf, maybe it's just like a normal shelf from Target like a month ago with the intention of using it as a TV stand in there, but then it needed screwdrivers and I didn't have screwdrivers, so I didn't build it then, and then I just didn't have any need to build it for a while, but now I have screwdrivers. I also need to get a hammer, but I can get that easily, so I do want to build that too. It's not like super pressing. Pretty much those first 3 are the only things I'm like, okay, these are getting done, but this is like a stretch goal just in case. The next thing I want to do is get ambient lighting for the living room. I don't really have specifics, but I want it to be just really like moody and vibey in there. But what I said earlier, like if I don't have the money for it, then I'm not gonna sit there and do that. Like I think my setup with just the couch and the TV by itself is gonna be perfectly fine for a while. I don't really need to press at all, but it's a stretch goal. Which also brings me to, I want to get LED lights for the bedroom. I think I want just something like up here, maybe just like up against the ceiling, maybe get like a backlight for the TV. I just think that would look cool, but same thing, only if the budget can really handle it. I'm thinking those last 3 are gonna be a no-go, and I'll just focus on the first 3. My next section is content. I really enjoyed focusing on consistency last month, and I think that's a good goal to have. It doesn't really matter what specifically I'm posting, I just want to get a specific amount of videos done. So I would like to post 5 videos on this channel because there are 5 Mondays in July. Even if I don't stay specifically on a Monday schedule, I hope I can still get 1 video up a week. And for my gaming channel, I would like to get 7 videos up, and that should be really easy if I'm posting 2 videos a week, which is my usual goal. And lastly, I would like to get a commission done for my gaming channel icon. I'm not really filling my profile picture, and I think I liked it a lot better when I had art as my profile picture, but I outgrew the one that I got commissioned a couple years ago, and now I want a new one done. I just have to find an artist for it and work through that process. And I don't even know, because I'm gonna talk shit a little bit, but so many commission artists that I've worked with in the past, they are just so slow and so non-communicative. I don't know if I've just been working with the wrong different people, but in my experience it hasn't been super fun, so I don't even know if it's gonna get done in July even if I commission them now. We're gonna see. Next section of goals is work and financial. They are combined. I would like to get my savings back to 1K, which I'm fairly sure is possible, but I do have to be a little more strict with myself, which is why I'm thinking I'm not gonna be buying some of those other frivolous things. I'm not gonna know about this one until like the end of the month though. I have a lot of like recentering to do with my budget, which brings me to the same goal I had last month. I would like to work 1 to 2 hours of overtime every single week. I'm already on the right path for that, but our first week is a holiday week, so it's kind of hard for me to really get into it when it's like we're starting on such like a lazy note. But I'm hoping I can just focus on the job by thinking about the money I'm gonna make if I stay a little bit later every day. I would also like to work 1 Saturday. Doesn't matter what Saturday, it doesn't even matter how long I stay there, because I know if I say, oh, I'm only gonna go in like 2 or 3 hours, I'm gonna end up staying a bit longer. I really just want to do that. I've been saying that month after month after month, and to this day, after 2 years of being at this job, I've only worked 1 Saturday for the entire time. And it was out of necessity then, but it also would be out of necessity now, so I just need to do it. The extra money will feel good. I just can never make myself pull myself out of bed on a Saturday morning. I'll get there. I don't know. And lastly, I am not booking any trips or any events. We are going to be in solitude for the entire month of July. We will not do anything if that's what it takes to not spend money. I am deeply gonna be a homebody. And honestly, here's my little justification for spending so much money. Do you want to put that little disclaimer in? I live in Colorado and was previously living in Wyoming, and I work in Wyoming currently. The winters can be unbearable. No one wants to leave their house when it's negative 10 degrees. So personally, for me, I do like the winter. I really do, honestly. But I don't really leave my apartment much, except to go to work. And then I really do enjoy staying in and working on YouTube videos during that time and just really hunkering down on indoor hobbies. While the sun is out and we're feeling good and we're getting tan, that's usually when I want to break out the wallet just to have the experiences. So even though I'm sure I can keep up with all of these financial goals while it still is summertime, I definitely give myself a little bit of leniency during this time period, because I know when the winter rolls around, I'm not going to be spending as much. But yeah, that's my disclaimer. It doesn't really justify how much money I spent, but it explains it at least. Next, we're going into health goals. So this one's fun because I did so many health things in June. I still have to continue doing health things in July. So first goal is to finish my sleep tracker. Like I said, I have like a week left of it, and then I'm done altogether. Should be pretty easy considering I've kept up with it for 6-7 weeks, something like that. Next, I want to get my pap smear done. Probably too much information, but I haven't been to a gynecologist, and I haven't done anything related to stuff like that in probably like 5 years. It's been a while, so I definitely need to get that done, and I can do that with my general doctor. Which brings me to, I want to have a follow-up with my doctor just to talk about the heart monitor and talk about the sleep tracker, and then talk about the pap smear results, all of that good stuff, and then hopefully that should close out my doctor era. Once again, for this one, we have 3 goals that I'm not so sure about, that I'm feeling like I'm probably not gonna do already, so that makes me fairly sure that I'm not gonna do them in the end, because if I'm already feeling that way, why would I push to get them done? But first and foremost, I have get an alignment done. I was going to the chiropractor back in like November, December of last year, and it was really good for me. I had like a whole entire plan to get my spine back on track, but then I think I stopped doing it around the start of this year. And I was like finishing up with my sessions, and they asked me if I wanted to continue a plan. I told them no. I would just get adjusted every once in a while when I was like feeling off, but I haven't been in like 3 or 4 months probably now, and I feel like my neck specifically, like I'm getting more migraines and I'm getting more neck pain and I'm getting more back pain. And I feel like I do need to go and get readjusted, because I end up popping my neck a lot and it hurts, and then I get more migraines, and just things are not working out there. And I know chiropractic care is like one of the best things you can do for your body, but it's also expensive as fuck. So again, budget wise, I don't know if I'm gonna have the money for that, but we're gonna see. The next goal I have is to get a massage. You can see a common theme here. A lot of these goals I have, I would accomplish if I had the money for it, but I am not made of money right now. The only reason I'm like, oh yeah, I could get a massage is that I have a $100 gift card from October, from my birthday, to go and get one, but I know it's gonna cost more than $100 to get the massage. So I'm like, do I really want to do that? I might, but I think the alignment's more important and I don't think I'm gonna pay for both of them. And then lastly, I have go to the dermatologist. Again, it's kind of bougie at this level. Like, I don't really feel like that's the most important thing for me, but it would help a lot. But that's like for my higher self, I believe. 3 problems that I have that I feel like I need to go to the dermatologist for are: first, my scarring from my boob job. If you guys care about that, I have 3 videos on my boob job talking about the whole entire process, and I talk about my scarring. I did have someone recommend to get some like silicone tape, I think is what it's called, and that's supposed to help, so I might try that first. But I've had some other people tell me to go to a dermatologist that like something's wrong with them, so I don't know. Other than that, I do have some moles I would like to remove. I've had these on my neck my whole life, but like they're not that pressing. I have a few that bug me, but not to like an extreme extent. But it's just something I've always said. I've always said I want to get all my moles removed. Doubt it's gonna happen this month. It'll happen eventually, but I doubt now is my time. The other thing that I do want to do that has been bothering me a bit more, once again, I don't think that it's really a priority yet. It's my blackheads though, like my skin texture, pretty much like all around here, but especially on my chin and then like my T-zone, pretty much everywhere. My skin has been doing significantly better since my teenage years. Like in my teenage years, I used to have very severe acne, and even probably like a year ago I was still having pretty bad skin problems. At this point, I still do have breakouts every now and again. I'm like currently just coming out of a really bad one, and I would say my skin's like doing pretty okay. But the blackheads, it's like every time I make an effort of like pulling them all out, they come right back in like a week. And it's in the process of getting them all out really dries out my skin and then makes me start peeling. Like I've done my chin a couple times. I'll take like a tool and I'll like pull it like this, and they all come out, they all pop. And then for like the next week, I have to put on moisturizer 24/7 and it's still dry. It just all peels off. Sometimes it scabs. It's bad. And then the next week they're back. So I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. I've looked stuff up before. I mean, there are plenty of theories. You guys can leave your theories in the comments below, but I feel like the best thing I can do in this situation is go to a dermatologist. Like they're gonna have the best knowledge of skin, considering they're the experts in skin. But it feels too bougie for me at this point. Last category I have is other, which basically just took over the role of my downtime category, just because sometimes I have goals that don't fit into the other categories, but this month it ended up being all downtime goals. So the first thing I want to do is finish reading The Cruel Prince. As I mentioned before, I went from about like 20% to like 50%, and I definitely think I can finish it up here in the next like week or two. Just depends on how much I'm feeling it. I've been kind of in a reading slump again ever since I got off of Sarah J Maas, and then after I finished Fourth Wing, all of those series were very good, and then I read 2 books that I DNF'd, and then I'm on this one now, and I don't really want to DNF, but I'm not like really into, and I can't really find a book that I'm super into at this point. I don't know, but we're gonna try to see it through. The next goal I have is to finish watching Bridgerton. I actually just finished this last night, so spoiler! But yeah, I had like the last like 2 episodes to finish watching, probably for a good week or 2, so I want to get that over with. And then lastly, I want to finish watching Perfect Match. I've also had a few episodes of that to finish watching for a good bit now. So yeah, those are all of my July goals. They are a little bit ambitious, but to be fair, I've already pointed out the ones that I don't think I'm gonna accomplish. Not necessarily because they're too ambitious, but because I don't feel like I need to do it this month. So maybe I shouldn't have even included them in the first place, but you know, it is what it is. Anyways, let's go on to the budget and see if we can actually accommodate all of these goals. So going into the budget, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I really don't want to go into details for why I went over budget for everything in June. I'm just really quickly gonna show a breakdown of my month. So yeah, feel free to judge me if you want. There are a couple different reasons why I spent so much money in June, and I talked about some of them. It's summertime, there are events going on. I did go to a Noah Kahan concert, and I definitely spent a lot of money on those tickets, more than I should have. I also pre-booked a trip next year to Bali, hosted by a YouTuber that I've loved my entire life. It's a girls trip. It's like 20 girls that are gonna be going to Bali in July of 2025. So, girl bossed a bit too close to the sun with that one as well, but I'm very excited for that. I'm like super excited for for that actually. I said I wasn't going to go into that much detail, but here I am about to go into a lot of detail. I had a lot of like car stuff come up randomly. I talked about it last month, but I did get a speeding ticket. That was $200. I thought that that was going to be all that I had to pay car-wise, but I ended up needing my oil changed, and my keys for my car actually broke. Like, it split apart. So I did have to go get a new set of keys made as well. I actually got two, so now I have a backup in case my key ever decides to just split in half again. I went overboard on gaming, like a lot, and this is embarrassing, but I spent like over $200 on in-game purchases. Not even buying new games, buying stuff within the games I already own. And then I also bought a couple apps on my phone. So yeah, basically in every area of my life I just decided to splurge, and I just convinced myself that I deserved it and that I'm free and I have no one to tell me what to do. So I lost my mind a bit, and I am really coming down to earth these last few weeks, and I'm like, okay, something is going on. I talked about it in like my life audits. I think my mentality was starting to go downhill, and I was overcompensating by buying a lot of stuff thinking that was gonna help. That is one of my coping mechanisms, and it's not healthy. And especially at this point in my life, since it's me providing for me, I need to get my shit together and stop letting myself fuck down like my actual life just because I'm having a bad day. But I also think moving forward, I'm not going to beat myself up too much for what I did in the past. I was going through some things. That is okay. The only thing I can do is just accept the choices that I've already made and move forward and try not to make bad decisions again. So moving on into the July budget, I'm gonna try to be a bit more humble, try to be a bit more realistic. I mean, there are some things that I'm gonna have to buy. It's life. But I really think I want to do a low spend month. Outside of the TV, I think I'm starting to come to the conclusion that's more important to me that I buy nothing else besides essentials. So pay my bills, pay for my groceries and my food, any inventory that I need to keep track of in my house, and maybe a few maintenance things that I just actually feel like I need to keep up with. And I think the only other thing I might allow myself this month is clothes, which yes, is a privilege, not a necessity, but I think that might just be like the little bit of a boost that I need to keep me not spending on other stuff. So for bills, I have that budgeted out at $2K. That's just what I keep it at. I usually go a little bit over it because my rent and my utilities kind of just bounces around a bit, but that's fine because it's bills. It's just stuff that I have to pay anyways. Subscriptions is a little over 50. I've talked about this before. I am not alternating any of my subscriptions. They're all necessities to me. I use all of them on like a daily basis. So we're staying at $56.11. For groceries and inventory, I'm gonna keep that at $500. I think I'm gonna end up going a bit over this month, but just because I feel like I'm not gonna be eating out as much, and I'm really trying to focus on eating at home, but I really don't have that area of my life like together yet. As I talked about earlier, I don't know how to grocery shop. I don't know how to cook. I haven't figured it out like everyone else seems to have figured it out. But yeah, if I go over budget on that, that's okay. But that's something I do want to figure out, like how to be accurate on very soon. Fast food and food delivery, I decided to put that at $100. I feel like that is achievable. I've done that in the past. On months where I'm not as disciplined, I always go over, but when I am focused money-wise, I can always stay under 100 for fast food. Especially with me being more health focused this month, I think that will be relatively easy. It's like a healthy amount of pressure. For outings, as I said, I don't want to spend any more money on events, no concerts, no like, I don't know, like random shit. What do you call that? Like aquariums and zoos, amusement parks, like shit like that. Not going to anything like that. No venues, no outings at all. We are not leaving the house. Well, I'll leave the house, but I'm gonna go on a hike if I leave the house. That is what I'm concluding. I need to spend more time outside for free. I live in Colorado. Like, this should be achievable. Next we have shopping, which I also put at 0. And hear me out. This is just because I think I want to spend more money on other areas of shopping. I do have like a general shopping category, but then I have a few areas of shopping that are like labeled specifically. So I don't think I'm going to be doing a lot of random shopping. However, I put my household budget at $750, and this is to accommodate for the TV. Once I get the TV, and then maybe if I get some of that lighting, only if the TV didn't cost as much as I expected it to, and that I'm not in the negative overall money-wise, then maybe I'll spend the rest of that budget on household. But that's a big if. Next is clothing, so I put $200 for clothing. I specifically think I have 3 things that I want to buy. I do have a concert at the end of this month, but I'm not paying for it, so don't burn me at the stake. I'm not doing anything wrong. Entertainment, I'm putting it at $25, but the goal is to spend nothing. I don't really buy movies. I shouldn't need to buy another book because I have so many books downloaded already. And in-game stuff, I think I'm like telling myself I'm done with that for a while because I've been spending too much money on games. It doesn't make me feel good. It makes me feel very bad about myself, actually. So yeah, no, we're gonna keep the games. Digital escapism, we're not gonna bring any real life escapism into that. I don't need to be sacrificing real life resources to do better in my little games. Anyways, there were some passionate feelings about that apparently. Then we have self-care. So I did put this at $500, and I think that should just cover my nails, honestly. I know that's a lot of money, but nails is a maintenance thing that I told myself that I'm gonna be doing for the rest of my life now. Whether that holds true, I don't know. These nails are over a month old. I actually stuck with them the entire time. None of them fell off, like the ones that I had before this. So like, if all else fails, I can keep them for a month. And then our last 3 categories are all at 0. I should not be spending really any money in health. If I do get an alignment done, and I do get a massage, I do all that other stuff, then yeah, I probably will be spending a little bit of money, but I have no idea how much of that I'm actually gonna get done. I don't know if I want to get any of it done. Travel, staying at 0. Not spending any money on travel. We're not traveling anywhere. And the last category is just other. I would hope I don't have any other unexplained, unexpected expenses, but then again, they would be unexplained and unexpected, so I can't really predict them. I don't think I will be spending anything more than the amount on the things I've already talked about. Sorry that this video is up a little bit late. I actually did film it on the 1st of the month like I always do, and I intended to edit it and publish it that night because I mean I had already filmed it and that was the hardest part, but I was running on 3 hours of sleep that day and I just had like no energy. I could tell I was like rushing through the entire video and I like didn't really want to be there, and I just didn't like the energy, and I just didn't want to like put that out into the world. Like I wanted to show that I am really enthusiastic about all of this, and I'm having a lot of fun with my videos, and I'm really appreciating all the love I've been getting recently. Like seriously, it has been motivating me so much and making me just so much happier on my day-to-day basis. Like I don't know, I don't necessarily feel like I'm there yet because I have high standards for myself, but you guys are making me feel like I am so much closer to where I've wanted to be my whole life, and I don't know, I hope this feeling continues. It's been beyond amazing. Yeah, I don't know, I'm really appreciative lately, and hopefully I can continue to show you guys this consistency and this improved quality of content, some good editing, some good energy, because I really want to give back what I'm getting. But anyways, enough of that sappy shit. I love you guys all so much. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave it a like and a comment, and if you're feeling generous, you can even subscribe. Don't know if you knew. I hope to see you guys all in the next video, but if not, bye bye!